Hello, and welcome to another episode of our StaTech Industry Modpack playthrough. Hope today's going swell and well for you so far. As for me, you could really say I'm digging it, because it's a quarry. Anyways, without further ado, let's dive into another episode. So yeah, in between episodes, we've actually done quite a bit of work as far as time passing, and that's mainly because we got the Steam Quarry up and running, and this is something that I will be going through today because it is something that takes quite a bit of time. So last time we left off, we'd gotten the Steam Blast Furnace and kind of started getting into steel. From there, it's going to take you over into item pipes, which are pretty basic, just some bronze curved plates and some steel gears. And then from there you go over to the Steam Quarry. Now this takes a lot of steel to make, somewhere around like 300 ingots. So yeah, it's a lot. But that being said, as long as you have your machines up and running, I do recommend at least having two of these Steam Blast Furnaces, and I was even getting ready to put in a third one, as you can see here, because one just wasn't cutting it. It goes way too slow. But with two, and I imagine more so over with three, process probably doesn't take that long. And yes, we're going to have multiple quarries, probably multiple steam quarries as well, if I had to guess about it. So yeah, having three will come in handy in the future. I've not actually gotten our second coke oven up and running. We'll need more coke ovens when we get to the large steam boiler, but since we're not there yet, just throwing some coke in here has been so far pretty fine for steel production, because remember, you only need 2 coke dust and 7 iron dust to make 9 steel, so you don't really need that much coke dust in the beginning. That being said, it's always better to have than to have not, and so I always recommend, again, preparing for future setups, which is why we went ahead and laid out the areas where we would be throwing some more down. In here, obviously, some things have changed. We have 3 bronze boilers now instead of just the one. We also have all the machines, so here's the cutting machine for when we need it, which you will end up needing it specifically for the quarry, because you have to make the Invar, it's like this thing, rotary blade. And if you take a look at the Invar gear, these Invar bolts, you can't actually make it in the hammer like you can everything else. So you actually have to go through, get your Invar rods from the cutting machine and transform those into bolts. But lubricant is something that we've been over many a times. Essentially, it's creosote and redstone in a mixer. So if I was to go grab, we can grab 2 pieces. I think that should put us up to a bucket even. 1, 2. And don't worry, we'll get back to the quarry, but this is just everything sort of in between, right? So yeah, redstone, creosote gives you lubricant. And lubricant can be used for a number of things, and as we use it, we'll kind of go through what that entails. So it can be used in the cutting machine. It is required in the cutting machine, essentially, but it only uses 10 mil buckets per recipe. So getting a whole bucket from 2 redstone, you know, it's like you can do a lot with it. You can do what, 100 crafts or 10? Yeah, like 100 crafts with 1 bucket. So that's pretty solid. Then we just kind of got some backups. So we have 2 furnaces now. We have 2 macerators. Well, we have more than 2 macerators. We have 3. We have 2 compressors, and this just is. Sorry, can't talk today. This is just because there'll be times where you're macerating iron and you realize, well, I also need to macerate my coal down or whatever. So this kind of solves all that. This setup specifically is really good for taking things from the quarry and processing them all the way down into dust. Because remember, whenever you get things from the quarry, it's the whole ore block. So you'll be getting like this iron ore here. Put that into a macerator, you're going to get raw iron back. And of course, you can put that back into a macerator to get 1.5 times production with it. So pretty good. You get about 4.5 iron per iron ore. And obviously that's a ton better than what we were doing in the beginning, where we'd go down and get 1 iron and 1 iron back out from it. So resources aren't really a problem now, especially since we have the steam quarry up and operational. Speaking of which, let's actually go through how this whole thing runs and how you'll know when it's complete, essentially. So let's take out the bronze drills that we have in there. And after this gets through its cycle, it should turn off. Indeed. Okay. And it'll even show you what's in the back. So this can look like a complicated and daunting setup. And there's a couple things that I want to point out as to simple solutions why it may not be working for you. And yes, I'll need some chests for this. So all in all, you build it just as how you build everything else, right? You put down your steam quarry and you hold out your wrench and it will tell you where blocks go, right? See the little outline block there. And then as far as your hatches go, here's our fluid hatch, fluid input hatch, and all of these things it'll tell you in the quest here, right? So the steel pipe machine casings, the steel machine casings, the steam quarry, and then just the hatches and some chains. And we're going to go through all that. So fluid input hatch, this can be bronze. I recommend keeping it bronze because it doesn't really consume so much steam that it's going to run out. So bronze is perfectly fine for the fluid input hatch. For the item input hatch, again, I think bronze is perfectly fine because it can hold a stack of 64 drills, which is rather a lot to make. Furthermore, you can pipe into it. So, you know, having a steel input just gives you 2 slots here. You don't really need 2 slots if you can have 1 slot and then just pipe into it or hopper into it or whatever. Obviously, I don't have enough bronze drills for that to even be necessary right now, but perhaps in the future when we have them auto crafting, then sending them in will be kind of nice. And again, you only need a bronze hatch for this. Now, moving to the back, you'll notice that these are steel item output hatches. The reason for this is they have 2 output slots. Now, if we take a look at the bronze drill and what all it can produce from the steam quarry, it has a certain percent chance to produce up to 10 items. Galena, silver, redstone, lead, gold, tin, copper, lignite coal, coal, and iron. Now, while it may be a small percent chance that you hit all 10 of these in one drill, it is possible. In one operational tick, it's possible to hit all 10 ore outputs. And if that happens, I want to be able to receive all the outputs. So that's why I have 5 steel item output hatches instead of I think it's like 2 that they recommend. Yeah, they recommend you to have 2. But that only allows for you to maximum receive 4 items off this list at a time. So what happens if you were to get lucky and hit 5? Well, that 5th one's going to be deleted. You don't actually get it because you don't have an output slot for it. So this is why I would rather be safe than sorry. And since there are 10 possible outputs, I have 10 possible output slots. That's the way I view it. You don't have to. You can go with 2. It'll work perfectly fine. You can go with 3, 4, however many you want. You can even go with 7. Absolutely will never need 7, but you can do it if you want to. So I do recommend steel hatches on the back because, again, 2 output slots. Otherwise, you're going to have a ton of bronze output hatches just all over the place with a ton of pipes and all that kind of stuff. So, and then basically you just fill the entire bottom area, whatever you didn't use with hatches or your steam quarry, with steel and steam. I just keep wanting to go back and forth between them. Anyways, with steel machine casings, like so. And then you have these little pillars, which are the steel pipe machine casings. 1 more machine casing at the top, and the chains going directly in the middle. Again, you'll know it's correct when you right click on the steam quarry and it says status active, and your bronze hatches turn to that steel color. Now let's take a little snooze here. I'm not gonna lie, I've died not just that once, not just the ones that you've seen over there. I think I've died twice in between episodes, maybe even 3 times. So what ends up happening is I'll hit E, and then I'll alt tab. And now Minecraft is gone to me. I can't see it at all. But it's still here. It's still running. And so I'll hit E and I'll alt tab and I'll like go Google something or whatever, you know, trying to look up some stuff. And then I get distracted. Family comes in, whatever. And then I just leave the computer like this for like an hour, 2 hours, however long it takes essentially for a random zombie to spawn, see me, and run over to me. Thankfully, we've not had a creeper blow up on us. Both times it was a zombie. That time I was actually at the computer. It was just a baby zombie and it was super souped up. So there's that. And that's how you can remove. If you have all these death markers, you hit J, find the marker, and just hit remove on it. I'm not going to remove the rest of these because I want them. But yeah, so that is going to be how you build your multi-block Steam machine, Steam Quarry, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, you're going to need some steam going in there. Yes, the steam is ran all the way over there, which is ran all the way back to the bronze boilers. We don't have a secret place underneath that's also doing the same thing. All of our power is coming from the bronze boilers. Quick note, each bronze boiler, I believe, can produce 8 millibuckets of steam per tick. So here we have 24 being produced, which is pretty good because each of these machines only costs 2, which means we could have 12 of them running at a time. And then over here, well, I'm not even running the coke oven and I'm not even running the fire clay bricks, but I think they run either 2 or 4. So again, still not that much. And the quarry actually uses only 4. So whenever it is running, yeah, it's not that much. Now, to turn it on, once you've got it fully set up, you do have to put the drills in. What you get out of the quarry is determined by the drills. So if we were to put in a zinc drill, we would get zinc ore and andesite and all this kind of create stuff, which we're not really going too deep into create, though I have used some elements within this playthrough, and we'll get into another one that I used today. But you'll see why here in a little bit. If I use a copper drill, I can get all of these blocks and building materials here, which I may end up doing because getting gravel means we can make sand, which means we can make clay. And clay is really useful for making bricks, which if we're making, you know, kind of an industrial revolution type-ish town, bricks are kind of going to be necessary, and terracotta. So, yeah, so that's what you're going to get out, and you can tell how many items it's producing same just by counting it. So if I was to use a zinc drill, I would only use 4 steel item output hatches because it only produces 8 items. Same thing here. So drills are in. You can right click and see progress. It is only using 4 steam per tick. EU can, for all intents and purposes, be regarded as steam here. And once it hits 100, if we stare at this thing, it should pop up the ores. There, for a brief second, you saw iron and redstone. And basically back here, we have the item pipes piping out. Now, item pipes is something that I want to discuss separate of my machine because I don't want to mess it up. Let's say you have a chest here and an output inventory here. Item pipes, same as fluid pipes, they're not going to automatically connect to the inventory. So if you're wondering why is it not connecting, it's not the machine's fault. It's actually your fault. It's just the way the mod's coded. So if we shift right click, that'll connect it. Or if I were to place it down and then take a wrench, don't shift right click it, but just right click it, it'll also connect. So let's put our little pipes down here. We'll connect them and let's throw some coal in. Yep, not transferring. Why is that? Well, if we take a closer look at the pipes, you can see a little arrow pointing into this chest and a little arrow pointing into this chest. Okay, simple enough. Let's change this to output. We can right click it, click in the insert excerpt little button up here, and you have insert or extract and extract only. Obviously, we're going to want to extract only. Cool. So it's pulling out and it's going in. Nope, still not working. Okay. Right click on it. Whitelist mode enabled. Now, by default, all of the item pipes within this mod, the modern industrialization mod specifically, start out whitelisted, which means if there's nothing in this filter, it's not going to transfer anything. To fix this to where it sends everything, simply click on the button. Now, if we watch it, Oh, still nothing. Well, that's because you actually have to set the output to blacklist mode so it can send everything out of it. And you have to set the insert side to blacklist. Now, if we take a look in here, 16, 32, 48, and you're saying, Chance, why is it going so slow? Well, if you look at the pipes, it has a network delay. So once every 3 seconds, it'll check the inventory, see what it's all inside here, and send up to 16 at a time. Now, this can be upgraded. If you hover here, it says put any motor here to improve item pipe speed. And of course, if you hover over the motor, hold shift, item pipe speed upgrade plus 2 items per 3 seconds. So essentially, if I was to put in 1 motor, instead of transferring 16 items, it's now going to transfer 18, which means, yes, you could theoretically get it up to a full stack. However, if we go over to the large motor, now it's going to send plus 8 items per 3 seconds, plus 32, and plus 64 with the large advanced motor. So you can transfer quite a lot of items with these item pipes. The network delay is to help with ticks and lag within servers and all that kind of stuff. So it does really work, especially since you can also, within this same block space, I could theoretically have a fluid pipe as well, and even an energy pipe. So you can have multiple pipes within the same block space, up to 3 pipes within the same space. And this is easier shown with different pipes, but theoretically, if I had this normal item pipe, and then I had a red item pipe, because you can color them, as you can see here. Just put some dye in the middle, or take your pipes and put dye in the middle like so. Then we could have, you know, red, blue, and a white one, right? Very American color themes. So it'd be like red, white, and blue, right? Now, fluids, as you've seen through us working with them, you don't typically have to really mess with too much. Once they're connected and you have the input and the output set properly, you're good to go. Now, oh, it's a snail. I was like, what am I hearing? Now, in order to use the whitelist mode, right, in order to properly set it up, it's pretty simple, as it can be done on either side, and which side you want to do it on may depend on how your system's set up. So if I put in charcoal here, and we put 32 in there, and we set this to insert and blacklist, it will start to transfer. Cool. So we only had to set up the whitelist on one side. We can, however, do the same thing where we outlist, and this is on the inside now, and again, it's blacklisted, so it's only going to receive charcoal. The reason this is important is, say I have this chest filled up with a bunch of items, and they're going to different chests along the way. We'll just pretend this is a chest, right? So this is also going into here. I don't know if it'll, oh wow. Anyways, so if it's going to multiple things, then yeah, we might want to set it on the output charcoal. However, if we only want to pull out charcoal from the right side, that's when we would set it here, right? I would go out and set charcoal here, and then come in with another pipe and then set the output to iron, right? So that's kind of the different situations in which you'd use it. This one is like if it specifically has to go into one inventory or another. This is if you're trying to specifically pull out one type of item from the chest, if you're marking on the export. So I hope that helps with modern industrialization pipes. I get a lot of questions about these because they are not very, they're not super intuitive as compared to the rest of the piping mods in Minecraft and the other logistical stuff. But that being said, they are very powerful because, of course, having 3 pipes that can come out from the same side gives you a ton of versatility as far as what you can do with it and where you can send it and yada, yada, yada. And then the other thing that really messes with people is the fact that it's preset to whitelist mode. You just got to go in and click blacklist on both sides and you'll be good to go. Taking a look over here at our gains from this so far, I have taken out copper and tin before. I don't know if I've taken out any iron, but I may have. It's getting nighttime. Let's hop back over to home real quick and we'll finish explaining the gains that we've gotten so far, because it's like I said, it's enough to always keep yourself refilled with drills for sure, for certain, however you want to say that, because it doesn't really cost that much bronze or iron to make those bronze drills. It's more so a complication thing, right? Because in order to make a bronze drill, you need all of these pieces, which requires item pipes, fluid pipes, iron gears, and a bronze drill head, all of which have their own complicated recipes with even more recipes inside of. But you also gotta like put it all together, right? So you gotta make all the tiny complicated pieces, put those together, take all the bigger complicated pieces, put those together. So this isn't really expensive, but there is a lot that goes into it. So you definitely get enough tin and copper. I have taken some of these out, but I think iron and redstone and gold, all this kind of stuff has remained pretty much the same. Coal, I've taken out coal and iron. I just don't know about iron. I've definitely taken out these three though. So, and how many drills have I ran through this machine so far? We have ran technically 9 bronze drills. So I did a set of 8, and then I came back and made a set of 16. So all of the 8 drills are obviously gone, ex-nade, and we've had 1 of the 16 break. Now, how does the breaking happen? Well, I don't know if it mentions this in the quest book. It may mention it in the quest book. Let's see. Don't avoid. No, does this say it? Aha. That consumes drills to dig. Okay, but it doesn't really tell you how it does it. So essentially there's a random % chance, let's say 5, I don't know if it's 5 or 10 or 15 or whatever, but there's a random % chance that every operation, so every time it progresses all the way to the end, it will cause the drill to break. And this is just a random % chance. So you could theoretically throw in a stack of bronze drills and it could last you, 64 progresses, and every single drill could break on the first attempt. Obviously the odds of that are astronomically low, but it could happen. Equally so though, you could throw in 1 bronze drill, and if you just happen to be the luckiest mf'er on the planet Earth, it could literally never break because it's all a % chance. So there's no durability. It's not gonna guaranteed break after so long. It's literally just every time it runs through an operation, there's a dice roll as to whether or not one of your drills breaks. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. Hopefully you get lucky. But you do get 4 bronze drills for each recipe. And I've noticed that the % on breaking is pretty low. So we've gotten a ton of resources and a ton of things that obviously can cycle back into making more bronze drills and more steam quarries, right? Because we have a ton of coal and a ton of iron being pumped out. We can now get into some gold and redstone type contraptions. So all of this is really, really nice. And it means that I no longer have to go scour the map for tin over there and copper over here and iron back there and coal over there and so on and so forth, right? Still need to go get diamonds, but honestly, diamonds is something that's a whole separate problem. Speaking of which, if you've managed to find diamonds and you're wondering, how do I get these things? Because I can smelt the diamond ore. Sure, various diamond ore. But if you go to put it in a macerator, and you're not prepared, you're going to have a bad day. So diamond ore goes into a macerator, turns into crushed diamond. When it goes back into a macerator, turns into diamond dust. Cool, just like everything else. Except you can't turn this diamond dust back into a diamond until you get the implosion compressor, which is, needless to say, a long way away. So the other way to get diamond by using diamond ore is to just smelt it. It's not efficient, it's not fun, but it is the only option. Unless, of course, you want to go into create, in which case you can crush it, you will get your guaranteed 1, and then you have a 75% chance, which is pretty good, at doubling it. So I may end up making the crushing wheel specifically for getting diamond out of it. It's a good way to get nether quartz, all this, that, and the other. So yeah, if you see crushing wheels come up, just know I'm not trying to sell out into create, but at this stage in the pack, it's really the only viable option for doubling diamonds, which is something I want to do. Also, obviously, you could probably take fortune to a diamond block and get multiple out that way, but yeah, the choice is kind of up to you. So finally moving off of the steam quarry, we're going to come over to something that I started out building as an attraction thing, and then it kind of bled into other things. So this is just a simple water wheel. I just wanted to add some more moving parts to the city, so we have more to look at, right? We have these over here, and we have the steam up there, and a couple cog wheels back there. So it was just, it kind of looks a little boring, and I wanted more visual movements around me. So I put it in the large water wheel, gave it a nice natural waterfall that goes into the, little stream here that already fuels all of our plants. So that felt pretty cool. But then I thought, what would be even cooler is if we take this connection and run it over and actually have an auto farmer being powered off of it. So here we have pretty much the exact same setup as what we have with our trees. There's a mechanical bearing, which is spinning a contraption on top, all of which has been glued, right? Just as I showed you with the tree farm. But this one's a little simpler because we just have the chest, portable storage, and the mechanical plows or harvesters. And obviously this is a very, very cheap recipe. Andesite alloy, iron plates, and an andesite casing. You're good to go. So here we just have 4 of them. You can make it a bit bigger if you want. You can make it smaller, whatever. It's up to you. I just wanted something to where I would have infinite food to go feed my villagers so they can breed, and to where I, myself, have food to eat, which I'm now realizing I have none. So, perfect timing. Let's eat a carrot real quick. We might have some being cooked up, but yeah, essentially that's it. The portable exchangers are there, little chute and a chest to receive everything. And this again just makes it to where I don't have to go worry about food in pretty much any sense of the manner, because obviously it works well enough. Making it larger would perform better, but I'm not going to worry about bigger, better, faster, stronger kind of stuff right now. So let's get 24 more potatoes thrown in there. I will go through all the rest of this food to my villagers. So we actually had a little mini fiasco in between episodes. I call it a mini fiasco because, well, y'all didn't know it was, if I didn't tell you, you wouldn't know. So I don't know why that makes it miniature. Essentially, the way that I got these villagers in here is by shift. Oh, I have my shield on. Make sure you take your shield off. Shift right clicking, you can pick them up, and then you just start running. I recommend running and jumping. And if you have slime boots on, like I do, if you can get a good little jump off of somewhere and actually start bouncing like this, you can really move quickly with these villagers. I mean, comparatively, right? So just, just keep jumping with the slime boots. You'll eventually get something up and going. I'm going to... You're not supposed to be a toolsmith. You're supposed to replace our first original forester. Nice. I do want to bookmark this. So, I've kind of already had some villagers in here. As you can see, the workstations, I just had well, technically I had 3, but I haven't been able to get the industrialist to work. So I'm not sure if that's intended or not, because whenever it pops down and you right click on it, it just goes, and kind of acts like a nitwit. And I don't mean that in an insulting manner, but like a legitimate Minecraft nitwit. As in you can't access any shopping with them. So maybe the industrialist has been disabled, and I can kind of get that because it does make a lot of modern industrialization trivial, at least from what I've experienced in the past. Being able to buy the drills, being able to buy steel gears and all this kind of stuff just makes it to where you don't really have to set up automation. You can just make a lot of emeralds and go buy it. So I get it if that's what's happened. However, these doors were not always here, and so yeah, one night I'm guessing they just kind of got ransacked by some zombies. Probably that same night that I got ransacked by a zombie, if I had to guess about it. But yeah, so pretty basic little concept here. We have a little villager breeding area, and you can see I started working on the roof because at first I was just going to make the villager breeding area, and I was like, oh, that's good enough. We'll give it some time. I'll come back, yada, yada, yada. Then I was like, you know what, on second thought, I think it would be pretty cool if we incorporate the villager breeding area into kind of the same building as the trading hall. And then over on this side, we'll do the converter, where we're, letting a zombie get infected, or letting a villager get infected by a zombie, and then curing it so we have cheaper prices. That being said, we already do have pretty cheap prices thanks to the villager hat. So as you can see in here, instead of having to sell him 6 saplings, I can sell him 1 for an emerald. And obviously, a sapling for an emerald is just insane profit margin because saplings are free, baby. At least with our little auto tree setup over here. So yeah, I'm really happy. Happy that those are a thing. Obviously, that's, you know, that's a stack of emeralds, stack of emeralds, stack of emeralds, so on and so forth. And as a matter of fact, let's keep these trees and this money machine going. And then I do need to go sleep here soon. Watch out for those saw blades. They do hit and they do hurt. There we go. Good enough. And on home we go to snooze the day away. So, that's villagers explained, farming explained, and I believe the quarry explained. As far as villagers, if you're interested in seeing what all trades there are, what all you can make, you can hit U on a piece of emerald, come over to the professions tab, and now you can just scroll through and see what block they need to make what profession. So here you can see the industrialist is in the pack, but it doesn't seem to work. So not real sure there. But yeah, once we get our villagers kind of rebuilt back up, because we had a couple of them unfortunately pass away somehow, I'm not sure, then we'll be good to go. So there we go. That's 5 emeralds. We'll let you level up here, and we'll just send the rest of it in. Now, maybe I shouldn't do oak sapling here. Maybe I should do oak sapling on down the line, because then obviously it gets a little bit bigger, better, whatever, costs more, gives you more. But that being said, obviously I don't really want to have to go find spruce saplings just to get down to oak saplings. So this works fine and makes us a lot of money. All right. And then you'll notice that we've kind of started to expand the walkway. I'm not sure what I want this to be. I wanted it to kind of be like a pass through, but it also kind of looks like a sewer drain just because it's all cobblestone. But I do like it, and it's much more practical, because not too often do I go all the way around here. But this path makes more sense, because in the sense of a town, you're not just gonna walk through a building, you know what I mean? It's just gonna be like, oh, hi Dave, sorry, passing underneath your catwalk here, don't mind me, don't chop my fingers off. So as far as an aesthetic, you know, outcome goes, that this route makes more sense. But as far as like logistics go, my ass is taking this route like 10 out of 10 times, right? So okay, so yeah, we were up to 15 drills, and now we're down to 13. Relatively low amount of time, but maybe we'll stay on 13 for a while. And obviously our ores are continuing to build up. I believe each of these drawers can hold, it's either 1,024 or 2,048. Let's go see, because I definitely have one filled up with cobblestone inside. It's 2048. Okay, cool. So yeah, we have plenty of space over there. We're not gonna back up or hit anything that we shouldn't anytime soon. And by the time we do, I should hopefully have Tom Simple Storage up, which brings me to my next point, Tom Simple Storage. That is where we're heading, I believe, with this this mod pack now, because we have automatic resources, right? So now we need a good sense and a good source for our storage. And that is where Tom's Simple Storage mod is going to come into play. All we really need to make is the inventory connector. And I mean, honestly, I'll just take the storage terminal. I don't need the crafting terminal, though it's nice. But just something to where I can see everything in one place, instead of having to dig through, I don't know, 18 million chests, you know? It's going to be rather nice. So that's what we're going to be getting started on with now. And the main detriment, the main holdup to getting into Tom's is going to be this little bad boy right here, a redstone comparator. I've searched the entire world that I've explored so far. Maybe not the entire world. I've went back and looked at a couple places. I've not found a redstone comparator. I've also not found any nether quartz. Everything else we can make, but those things kind of SOL with. Now, if we could find some quartz blocks, stairs, blocks of any kind, I could also be fine, because I can just drop an anvil on it. But again, I've not found any blocks of quartz. So we're back to having to go to the nether. which is fine. We would need to go there anyways at some point. I'm just not necessarily, I think, in the best position. We could also make a crushing wheel and send diorite in, and it has a 25% chance. So again, maybe this is the route we should go, or soul sand, or crushed raw gold, which of course we have gold, and if we put this in a crushing wheel. So it all kind of comes back to one or two things. We need either a crushing wheel, or we need to go to the Nether. I don't want to get into create right now, so I'd rather go to the Nether. With that being said, let's get some obsidian. And I know just the place. I almost died in it. So I was just hopping around like a fool. I just jumped in a whole big vat of lava. So let me make sure it's on my map here so I don't get lost. I think it's one of these over here. Maybe it was that one. Either way, we have plenty of them. There's one right beside our little waypoint, so we're just going to teleport over there. All right, so let's go. I think it was Jaggersaur, however you say that. And yeah, let's just throw this down on here. And everything into Obsidian. And then let's take our drill out and start over here on this side. I don't think it becomes any quicker, right? Oh, wow, it does. So I should mine the cobblestone around the obsidian, not the actual obsidian. Because that goes so much faster. That's insane. Okay. This has got to be a little busted. I mean, I'll take it, obviously. But, yeah, it feels a little cheap. Feels a little cheap. World's fastest obsidian mined ever. This is beautiful. I am grabbing a little bit extra. You never know. Never know what you might need the obsidian. Trying to get my ass. That ain't cool. It ain't really a way to get in there without doing a little bit of this. You know, if you ask me personally, obsidian shouldn't melt in lava. That just kind of seems a little silly. But whatever. All right, what are we up to? 39. Well, I'm not leaving it at 39. Yeah, wow, this is ridiculously easy and really nice to know that, actually. So in future Let's Plays or whatever, there you have it. Boom. All right. Obsidian obtained. Now, I don't know where I want to put the portal. I guess that was one thing that I didn't really think about before this episode. I want it somewhere close-ish to where I can see it. It's still kind of far away. Maybe this is the first thing we put over on this little tiny semi-secluded island. Keep everything over here kind of safe. Speaking of which, I also need to go over here and chunk claim my little quarry area so it always works, no matter what. Oh, this is going to be such a hard base for me to chunk claim. Somewhere through here is the pipes, I think. No, it's through here. Damn it. Yeah. Somewhere through here is the pipes that carry the steam. So we need the steam being produced and we need the quarry all within the same thing. And that works. Okay. So yeah, let's go over to this little secondary island, which we'll eventually end up bridging over to. I think we'll go over here. Things kind of calm down a little bit. Wild asparagus. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I already have a ton of asparagus back at the house. And then we'll just throw it. I kind of like the idea of being able to see it from over there, so maybe somewhere like right here. All right. Oh, it's all these flowers taking up inventory space. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Make it a big portal or small portal? Make it a relatively large portal. That'll be a 5. A fiver. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it always has to be taller than it is wide. Okay, general rule of life there. I don't make these rules up, but I do follow them, okay? Just a little too short, stubby arms to reach over there. Hope this lines up. Yeah, it does. Beautiful. That's a big portal. I think we're gonna have to go back home for a piece of flint. Flint's not something I actively carry on me, and I mean also just dumping off all these random dirt and grass blocks wouldn't hurt. And I really should clear out my inventory back up here so I can actually put things in it that I don't currently use. And another nighttime. Nighttime comes so quickly in Minecraft. It can't just be me, right? Everyone notices that. It's everybody. Nighttime comes way too fast. So I need some gold armor of some kind. We're still rocking a leather tunic. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you it's probably not gonna drawer. I can have a drawer on my body? What? Oh wait, I was hovering that. Oh, Chance, you're really silly sometimes, you know that? Chucklehead. Anyways, we're gonna need some better armor than just the iron stuff that we have here. What all armor? I haven't even checked this out myself, actually. What do we got available? We got netherite, obviously. Silver, steel, 6, 1.5. Looks like steel is probably gonna be our best bet. Minus diamond. Diamond doesn't look too shabby neither. Bedrock chestplate. That looks good. Have not discovered the recipe for that yet. Twilight. So yeah, I mean, we're looking at some pretty basic stuff here. So we can do steel, or we can do diamond or iron. You have to do anything special for the steel? Like, does it have to be smashed steel? No, just regular steel? Okay. Well, that we might do, because we do have quite a bit of steel. Of course, we need some for, you know, other various things. Let's also get some iron. We're gonna make an iron helmet. And yeah, I guess we'll make the rest out of steel. Fuck it. What do I gotta lose? A couple pieces of armor? Psh, pish posh. So I need steel chest plate and steel leggings. Chest. Legumes. And we'll throw those on. We'll throw that on. Beautiful. Now we're sitting semi-pretty. Oh, I need to take that off and put that on. The gold helmet really, really goes with my straw hat. This iron one, not so much. But the gold one, I mean, it just looks like more straw hat. All right, beautiful. We are so mother flippin' handsome. Now Obsidian, I will need to put that back out front there. I just want to get a couple stacks to you know, be able to build with when we get there. All right, what else am I missing? That and that. Really don't want to die and lose any of this stuff. Put the pipes over here. Emeralds. Okay, cool beans. Now let's get a single piece of iron. Piece of flint. Unless flint and steel actually requires steel. Nope. Cool. Sometimes they do that to you just to be cheeky. They're like, you can't go to the nether till you get steel. Joke's on you, already have it. And I guess joke's on me, I didn't need it. Alright, well, let's go see what we get. And I'm going to show you a little trick that any wise Minecraft player should always do. And this goes across every mod pack. That's right, it's a rule that is universal, every mod pack, every playthrough. And that is this, ladies and gentlemen. When you're about to go into the nether, save and quit your shit, stuff, whatever you want to call it. Make a backup. It could literally be the worst thing ever. You could go into the Nether, spawn up the portal, have a ghast shoot a fireball at you. An explosive fireball, need I remind you. You dodge it, feeling fantastic. The fireball goes into the portal. Ah. Well, I hope that doesn't hit my house. My house is directly in front of this, so, you know, it could hit a number of things over there. That would really just kind of make me a sad, sad man. So, be wary, I guess, long and short of it. We're going to keep our iron axe out at first because we can block with this. Oh dear. It appears as though we've not only spawned in a dangerous biome, but next to some kind of structure with some piggymen. Some little oinkers. No, I'm not too proud of that that word there, little oinkers. Not something about it just sounds kind of disturbing, okay? What? Oh, there's a little freaking vine right there. Alright. We have ourselves a little out hole. Just don't really recommend calling it that. Oh, nope, 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 nope. Get the fuck up off me, bro. I don't know what the fuck you are. Vein Goblin Trader. Ow. Don't fucking punch me, bro. Oh. I'll wreck your shit. Why can't I trade with you now? Oh, there it is. Nether ore, emeralds, carrots. Whoa! Looting 4. Oh, I have to have looting 3. Well, you don't really do anything then. Projectile projection. Okay. So a bunch of uncraftable potions. A totem of undying for 2 netherite ingots. That's pretty good. Everything else, I mean, yeah, you know, 5 netherite scrap for 4 ancient debris. Maybe it ain't so bad. Sorry I punched you. You were running at me though, okay? You ran straight at me, bro. Oh, these structures may not be... Oh, shit. I don't know what the hell that was. These structures may be part of something else. Wailing Nylium? Oh, goodness. So this may not even be like a... I was gonna say it may not be a bastion, but honestly with all the... Oh, fuck. There's a little bitty hoglin. I ain't trying to mess with you. Don't try to mess with me. This motherfucker! Quit. Hey! This ain't over. Alright? This ain't over. Anyways. I need to find some freaking nether quartz. So if you could be so kind as to just leave me alone. What the fuck is... Oh, so. You guys sound angry in there. You sound so angry. I have a question. Quartz. Nether quartz. So you can smelt it and get 1. You can macerate it and get 4. And macerate that and potentially get 6. And then compress it. Okay, so it is still better to do this. Yeah. Just do 1 block. So I'm not sure what's all behind there. If you're wondering where I got the pickaxe and the shovel from, those are the fallen villagers. I guess that was kind of an important piece of that. All right, let us continue. Kind of like an entrance into this place. Not really what I want to see. This is a bastion. well. Won't be going in there right now. Yeah, definitely a bastion. Don't mind me, I'm not here to steal your treasure. Oh, fuck me. Whew. Close. Close. You got 4 nether quartz. Honestly, it's probably pretty good. Maybe, okay, tone it down. Maybe it's not pretty good, but it's a manageable amount, and that's all I really need in order to be successful in what I wanted to do. So, ta-ta. And then, yeah, we just go throw this basically into the macerator machine. So, nether quartz goes in there, makes a horrible sound. Then it goes into here to make twice as much the horrible sound. And then we can throw this into a compressor. Let's go. Fantastic, because I think that's all we really needed. That was all. I mean, we already have diamonds and ender pearls. I got an ender pearl, right? I like killed 1, 2, something. I do have one. Let's go. It's hard to remember what happens in this playthrough versus the other playthrough on Oplising. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you learned something today. I know I certainly. I know I certainly. Wow, that does not sound like a good word. And obviously a horrible spoonerism. I'm not sure if it was entirely a spoonerism. Anyways, I know I certainly did. If you did enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like down below, comment in the comment section if you have any questions or any additional tips, tidbits, or extra bits of advice that may be helpful to me or anyone else reading the comments down below. Feel free to ask questions. I do try and respond to each and every comment that I see and have the time to get around to. If you're new here and you want to see more awesome content from yours truly, that's me, hit the subscribe button so that way you get notified whenever I post videos, and YouTube's feeling generous with the algorithm, right? Because you can be subscribed to someone and still not see a video from them for like 10 years and then remember they exist and be like, oh yeah, I guess I did subscribe to that person, huh? Anyways, share this out with friends, family, strangers down the street, random people you might meet walking down the street when you're eating some meat. As per the usual, I do hope you all stay safe, stay awesome, and stay crafting. Until next time, you beautiful people. Peace out.